Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad family. Singapore Transit Pricing, Buses versus MRT Cost Comparison Guide. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I'm currently in East and Southeast Asia for a few months. And during this time, I'm recording lots of exclusive content comparing different cities in the region to help you decide which ones you should visit, while also saving you time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. For example, Singapore is one of the most expensive destinations in the world, but I know a way how you can save hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars when visiting Singapore, and it's not something that others talk about on YouTube. So head over to buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad using the link below and donate any amount of your choice, no matter how big or how small, to get access to my most helpful exclusive content on Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Hong Kong, and many other cities in Europe, Asia, and the United States. With that being said, we're currently located at the Beach Station Transit Hub on Sentosa Island, which is part of Singapore. And I have some good news as well as some bad news for you related to public transportation prices here in Singapore. I'll start with the bad news. And the bad news is the fact that figuring out how much your trip is going to cost takes time, and it's not a very straightforward process. They do require for you to go and use one of the tools on their website, choosing your specific departure point, the specific name of the stop from a big list, and also choosing the specific destination point, again from the list of available stops. First you have to select which line you're gonna take, then you have to select the stop at which you're going to depart, as well as the stop at which you're going to get off the bus or get off the train. And if you are transferring, if you're planning multiple trips, sightseeing, exploring different parts of the city, as you can imagine, this can be a very time-consuming process, especially considering the fact that you can't just type in the name of the stop. You actually have to literally choose it from a list, and that list can contain as many as 50 different stops, and you have to read through all of them. And on top of all that, another thing that is a little bit sad is the fact that it takes a very long time for the charge information to start showing on your bank statement. If you are paying with your credit card, which is the easiest way to pay for public transportation, you just tap it on when you get in and tap it off when you get out. It does take over a week for the information to start appearing on your bank statement. So if you, for example, in my case, I've been using it for 7 days. I've been paying with my credit card, and I still don't know the exact cost of my bus rides that I took 7 days ago, or the MRT ride that I took 7 days ago. That's how long it takes. And I still don't know when exactly I'm gonna know the exact cost, because it still shows as pending, and the amount, the final amount is unknown. Now let me talk about the good news. The first little piece of good news is that they do accept American Express. If you're traveling from the United States, you can use your American Express credit card. It's not accepted everywhere, but it is accepted in Singapore. You can also use Visa and MasterCard. Again, you just have to make sure you're using the same card when you get in and the same card when you get out, because the cost is calculated based on distance. So make sure you tap it when you get off the bus or get off the train, because, I mean, not get off the train, but exit the train system. There is no way to tap it when you're getting off the train, but there is a way to tap it when you're exiting the whole MRT system, because the cost is calculated based on distance, as I mentioned before, and that is how the system knows whether you took it for a few stops or you took it for the whole route from end to end, including all 50 stops or something like that. And the other piece of good news that is really important, and that is probably the best part of this whole video, is the fact that overall, in comparison with many other world destinations, Singapore public transportation is fairly affordable, and chances are it's going to be cheaper than in your hometown, especially if you're coming from Western Europe or many cities in the United States like Washington DC, or other cities that have fairly expensive public transit. In Singapore, it's much more affordable. To give you some examples, most short trips would cost only about $1 if you want to ride a bus for a few stops, it's going to cost about $1. If you want to ride the MRT for a few stops, it's also going to cost about $1. Now, if you were to ride all the way from end to end, guess what? It's not going to cost that much more, only about $2. So $1 for short distance trips and $2 for long distance trips. That is the approximate amount that you are going to pay when you are traveling by buses or MRT or light rail in Singapore, which I think is fairly reasonable. And for most people, depending on their usage, it's going to average to about maybe under $5 per day, which I think is pretty good. They do not have any kind of unlimited passes that it would make sense to buy. They do have some offerings, but they are a little bit overpriced, so I do not recommend buying any unlimited passes. Just pay per ride. Tap your card when you get in, tap it when you get out, and most likely the final cost is going to be under $5 per day per person. It might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less depending on where you go, but it's not going to be the amount that you would pay in many other cities such as Tokyo, Berlin, Washington DC, and many other, London, Paris. Those cities are a lot more expensive than Singapore. Singapore is very expensive when it comes to hotels and accommodations, but when it comes to public transportation and food, it's pretty affordable, especially in comparison with other big cities such as the ones I just mentioned. With that being said, I would like to tell you that regardless of whether you're currently in Europe, Asia, United States, or anywhere else, if you haven't done much long-term or long-distance traveling lately, I would like to challenge you to broaden your horizons and give it a try. When you visit new places, you might find yourself feeling happier and more fulfilled with new ideas, inspiration, and motivation to accomplish your life goals. And it's not just my personal opinion, it's confirmed by scientific research. In the worst case scenario, you'll just learn how to appreciate your home country more. And as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I appreciate you being a part of the Transit Nomad family and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.